are now about to witness the awesome, a crushing, a might of the UFC. Yes, Robinson. Show.
I'm ready.
Stomper! Welcome, my friends. To the show that city never ends. This is version 351. The DJ dropping Stomper. I'm your host, Eugene S. Rapists. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot. Special guests coming on your show. Courtesy of Bryce. Yeah. And a lot. The UFC yesterday. Accidentally ended up watching it. Won't know. But first, let's get Bob Riley into that he had to be reached in 2007. The song is called Intro All of Nothing. The song is called Record from Poland Just. Still available. From Take a Drake. Double AG Records in Huntington Beach, California. With exceeded at the nightclub. You can call with a hammer. And they run your man program out of town on a rail. Open up the substandard restaurant in Central Florida. Listen well.
I'm on my way back nowhere. I took my time
But it could not seem too clear, but I'm taking a real good look at you. I'm taking a real good look at your face.
I'm on my way back to never.
So here's payback is for always nothing. Alright, meine Freunde. Ein bisschen Deutsch. Früher meine super show. How's that? Can you? Yes. Oliver's not in yet, so he can't tell you all how bad my German accent is. Besides which, he wouldn't dare do so anyway. Anyway, here we are at 351. I'm talking kind of funny because I bit the tip of my tongue. The tip of my tongue is now retarded. It's not enough to stop me from eating. It just makes me sad, talk funny. This tongue thing, the tongue thing. So, but we got a lot to talk about today. And like I said, it's even got MMA talk in it because I accidentally watched the fights yesterday. We'll get into all of that later. But first, a little bit of commercials. Sorry. What you got as a guy? What? I'm supposed to choke on phlegm? Because it grosses you out? Tough it up. Anyway, this has been a strange week. We'll get to the strangeness of the week itself. But I want to back up a bit because today is February 2nd, which means February 1st. So I sent a check to June. Look, TM can't be carrying the load for all of y'all's. He's already over and above the Call of Duty. Donate a bunch. Today also, incidentally, well, you don't need to know all the ins and outs. I'm just saying, you got the PayPal, you got the Venmo, you got the Cash App, you got the direct address. What was it? M18 from Vermont sends me the cash in an envelope. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Answer the phone sometimes when I call. Try to thank you in real voice sometimes when I call. How about that? Try that, MET, in Vermont. You know who I'm talking about. So anyway, let's go back into this week. And there's been a lot of shit that happened this week. A lot of stuff that, okay, yeah, I walked by Titty Gate. because that died because there's been a flurry of activity with the new administration. And I'm not going to get into any of the activity in actual fact, because I got to fly. And my mistaken friendship at Gold's Gym with a guy who was an airplane mechanic has, the tongue and everything else has permanently queered me on airplanes. I used to be, man, you used to see me fly, and I was a daring do. I didn't care. I was, booby gate. Yeah, that booby gate would work a little bit better. But I want titty gate because it was a little more bracing. And I wasn't nervous about flying until I met this guy. And he, like probably you shouldn't make friends with people who work in kitchens if you like to eat at restaurants, because you will get stories where the guy goes, my number one tool when I worked at a high-end restaurant in New York was what? Pair of pliers. I go, what did you need those for? He goes, to pull the parasites out of swordfish. Okay, thanks for that. Never again, or I don't think I had, but I will certainly not in the future, eat swordfish. It looks on the menu, it looks plenty of exotic, and I'm sure you vegans out there, yeah, Eugene, you don't know about all the parasites and the other stuff. You know what? I heard about them all. From trichinosis to the other ones that lodge in your muscles and your eyeballs. What is that one that the guy got me all revved up about? Tom Dobroff got me all revved up about. It's got some easy name that is everybody who eats meat now has them. I can't remember the name, but anyway, you know what? Just you don't find out too much about too much. Generally, there's a comfortable state of non-knowledge that you can exist in for a long time in a pretty healthy way. That's where I am with politics these days. That's why I've been fire. That's why I've been with politics these days, and largely, like, it's been fun seeing my MAGA friends go from theoretical to actual. Your Marty G, if you paid attention to If the Shoes Fit this week, was on If the Shoes Fit, standing in for John Nash. Still talking about that he schooled the listeners of If the Shoes Fit when he started ripping out CFR statistics about the vaccine. That's fine. And then to see him Saturday, deal with the fact that one of our team members is having serious ice problems. I don't mean ice as in very cold water. I mean immigration issues. And to see, okay, this is not even trickle down now. It's not abstraction now. It's not the vast other now. It's this guy that that you trained with since he was 14 fucking years old, suffering, the tortures of the damned. There was not so much all that run-up glee about, oh, I love it. He did this. He upset the apple cart. He's a non-tradition. I did it. Now it comes back. And I said, I'm just going to print up a bunch of I told you so signs and whip them out every time something happens. But I never imagined it would happen to me, which is what everybody says, I guess. So God willing that I make it on this plane and off the plane and then back on the plane and back off the plane. I know it's foolish for me to be concerned, but you got to realize I'm still the kind of guy that buys lottery tickets, right? An exceptionalist in all things. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just trying to give you a sense of what I'm paying attention to and what I'm not. But the worlds collided this week in the form of, I like Hitler, says Bryce Mitchell. I mean, listen, let's go back a little bit. When I worked at Music Player. Now, when I worked at Music Player, and Ken Donna Shalala me on my own show, you know where this is going to go. I get a call when I've not even started the job yet. I didn't think so. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they did. It's just talk. It's just rhetoric. Nope. So anyway, before I started the job, the marketing woman who's doing PR wants to do a press release. She goes on the internet. This is, I don't know, 2000 something or other, right? 2003. I don't remember. She goes on the 2004 or 5. I mean, she goes on the internet. Man, I can't remember when. I don't remember when. And she decides to type in my name, and up comes a video clip from a documentary called a movie called Music for Adults. And in it, I'm playing in a place called Bradford, England, an anarchist squat. And I'm choking some guy, punching him in the face. And then there's another scene from Leicester, England, where the guy, you can't tell us from the video, but he is nearly naked. And I'm pulling when I say nearly naked, I mean no pants, no underwear. And I'm pulling his shirt over his head as I sink in a guillotine. And they're like, oh my God, what do we have here? And they have to have serious discussions about whether or not they're going to continue with this hiring of me. No, he was being beaten, so he wasn't erect. So a friend of his who came up to try to break up the fight was possibly erect, and I gave him a face mask and pushed him off. I know, it's going to be, hey, you got to take it easy on the drink. You got to parcel. It's going to be a Hitler heavy show. Take a drink. So they don't know whether to fire me or not. And finally, the woman who ended up being on the board of directors at Ozzy, who became my patron saint against all the forces that wanted to fire me, said, listen, it's a music magazine. He's a musician. Give him give him the job. So they called me and tell me, we've seen your documentary. And I go, which one? They said, we've seen your movie. And I said, which one? And they go, oh, you're in others? I say, yeah, total disclosure. I'd give them all the movies I've been in. And they go, okay, well, come to work. We're not going to fire you or anything. They're not going to fire me. I didn't know. I didn't know that was even on the table. No. So I start the company. And then I hear, and I'm there, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. It was a good run. The CEO or my president of the company, Louise Rogers, she left. And of course, I was a marked man, teacher's pet, marked man, out of there within a few months after she got quit and moved on. Which is why my wife, she felt obliged to take me with her to Ozzy. Don't know. That's not the point. The point is, that there was a guy at Music Player who had a swastika tattoo on his forehead. I don't know if you should take a drink for that. I didn't say Nazi. I just did. Take a drink. And dude comes in for the interview, I guess, the first time like that. Now, his job was systems in the back, not dealing with the public. Nobody said anything. It's San Francisco, whatever dude could have. Well, he works for a while. Summertime months hit, and dude decides, hey, man, it's kind of hot in here. Screw it. Comes to work. So, oh, whoa, you had a swastika tattoo on your head. Yeah. Yeah, the guy goes, yeah, it's my belief, And people are like, well, how you guys believe? And finally, somebody was like, yo, we got a guy with a swastika on his head. Can you talk to him? So he talked to him and said, hey, listen, why don't you put the hat back on, Why? Well, something disturbing some people. Okay. So the guy puts the hat back on. Summer gets hotter. He says, screw this. It's my personal belief. I'm not putting the hat on. I'm going to let my freak flag fly. It's my swastika, my forehead. Well, they eventually they ended up firing the guy. But after the guy had worked there, in total, the guy started probably before I did and lasted longer than I did. And this guy had a swastika tattoo on his forehead. Okay, you ready for the game? What's the guy's background? Is he Asian? Is he white? Is he Jewish? Is he Latino? Is he black? Come on. Is he Hindu? Come on. Oh, no. I'll give you one more guess. After Jimmy is, you get one more guess. Anybody? Black, Jewish, or wrong? Yeah, he was a lot less Yeah, you got it. White dude. All right. So I imagine this guy is somewhere, working a job still. Let me give you a little context. A friend of mine is a tattoo guy. A guy walks into a tattoo parlor with a swastika tattoo on his neck. He says, yo, I got to get rid of this thing. Yeah, I want you to take it off. He goes, cool, easy. I can cover it easily. Because, well, let me think about it. I'll come back. And the guy does what he says he's going to do. He comes back. All right. He comes back and he says, God, I don't want to take up your time. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get it covered. And the guy goes, why not? It seemed like a good thing, life choice. He goes, well, I got it in prison. And if I go back to prison and they see that I've gotten rid of it, I'm going to get killed. Whoa, low expectation having fucking, okay, I guess you got to do what you got to do, man. And the guy walked out of it. So maybe they're compelling reasons for having, not getting rid of it, but this idea that the bald one is propagating now, that our employees can say whatever they want. Like Roberto Stitch Duran's daughter raised the question, really? Because my father raised a complaint that the cut guys weren't getting enough of that cash from the Reebok deal, and he was summarily fired. So what are we talking about? I don't know what happened with Paul Daly and Josh Koscheck, that after walking back to their corners, Paul Daly slapped or punched Josh Koscheck. It was enough to lose him the fight. It was also enough, apparently, to lose him his job. But I guess it's because he hit another man. If you beat up women in the UFC, I guess you're okay. And I understand the optics here. Fresh off the power of a Trump win, the bald one is like, I have a right-hand seat at the hand of the Lord. You can't tell me shit now. You can't tell me shit. So Bryce Witch says, before he started taking meth, Hitler was a good guy to go fishing with. It wasn't those greedy Jews, all those greedy Jewish babies who had their heads smashed and thrown into incinerators. Well, that didn't even happen anyway. According to Mel Gibson's dad, those 6 million Jews weren't killed in the Holocaust or the ovens. They wandered off because that's what Jews do. So Bryce Mitchell, I mean, we should have seen this coming when the flat earth. And of course, his boss ultimately is Ari Emanuel. Ari's okay with this. They let the companies do what they want to do, I guess. But I can't think of a single person who could have said what he said and still had a job unless he was working for a company that was explicitly allied or aligned with Nazis. And that's a lot of companies these days, and they still wouldn't have you. I can't go to work for Bayer and spout that stuff, or Mercedes, or Hugo Boss, or any of the companies that made broke bread with the Nazis in the 1920s, all through the 30s and the 40s, who have somehow managed to come out unscathed. Can't do it. Can't do it. Well, aren't you chafing against you should be able to say whatever. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. I can say I'm going to kick your ass, and the cops show up, and I can get charged with what is it? The one that's a verbal threat is assault, I think. Battery is when you're actually doing it. IBM, Ford, you got it. A lot of companies, a lot of dirty hands out there. Couldn't work for any of those and say what Bryce Mitchell did. But I could say that shit in the UFC, or could I? Who are the really bad actors in the UFC who have escaped punishment? Tuesday, I'm on the show. And next Sunday, I might be doing the show from somewhere else. We'll let you know. But try not to die. If I don't see you on the night, actually, I will not see you on the night. You may see me on the 9th. I'll be blasted and tired. But the week after that, I'm back for sure, including that Tuesday. So, Bad Buzz Brief, do stuff you hate. That was this week. I don't know where I'm going to be next week to record it. I'm going to try to let Stephanie know to record it early. But the old one is up. Enjoy it. Doing stuff you hate. Look at the new Drug Burn, doing well. The first video is out from the record, and it's a doozy. You should watch it. It's called Drug Burn, 2 words, doing well. Look it up. A Road Burn Festival had the exclusive, so you can type in all those things. It comes up. Good. It's a good video. You should change it. I like that. Yeah. How heavyweights change these things. I know they test more. Do they? Do they test for them? When was the last time somebody got popped? Somebody got popped? So that means nobody has been using performance-enhancing drugs, huh? Anyway, this is version 3 of 5.1 of the Eugene S Show Stomper. I'm your host, Eugene S. Try not to die between now and next week. The show's a little longer. I don't know where I'm going to be, but I'm going to try to be with you next week on Sunday. Until then, look what you made me do! No time, fellas.